What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be testing out a bunch of new makeup. I have a whole bin over here filled with stuff that I've been waiting to test out with you guys. I've literally stopped myself from trying most of these products off camera because I really want to have my very first impressions with you guys. I don't want to leave you guys out. It's going to be a fun video and I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on everything that I'm going to be using today. If you want to give me your own reviews, I would love to hear them. So definitely sound off down there. Hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy today's video and subscribe if you want to join the fam. Without further ado, let's get started. So before we jump into the makeup, of course, it's very important to first prep the skin with skincare so that we really set it up to perform at its best so that the products that we put on top of it will look the best that they could possibly look. I always stress to you guys that skincare is probably the most important step in your makeup routine. It could definitely make or break specifically your base makeup. So I'm going to go in with a brand new serum from Vichy, and this portion of the video is in partnership with Vichy. This is a brand new product from their line. It's the Vichy Mineral 89 Probiotic Fractions Concentrate. So you may be familiar with the Vichy Mineral 89 Booster. This is a really awesome, very hydrating serum. So the Mineral 89 Probiotic Fractions Concentrate, which is such a mouthful to say, is similar, but it is also very different than the 89 booster. So the booster is more so for like everyday wear. You can put this on day and night for a nice hydrating boost. And the probiotic fractions is more of like a once in a while as you need it type of skincare product. The probiotic fractions is actually made out of 80% volcanic water, which has 15 different types of minerals that are really supposed to help in decreasing inflammation in your skin. So this is really good for when you have kind of like a stressed out skin day. This happens to me a lot when my skin can sometimes get really just like irritated, sensitized, and inflamed. That's when this product is really, really great. And so this is really gonna help in just kind of calming everything down on the skin. And this does also have 4% niacinamide, which is a really amazing hydrating ingredient as well. Niacinamide is also really soothing and it also helps to decrease inflammation as well. So all of that together just makes this a really awesome, very concentrated product. So to just sum all of that up, this is really good for dullness, irritation, redness, to just kind of bring your skin back to life. So this is going to be the very first step in my moisturizing routine. So I'm just going to mix it up, take a couple drops of this, and then just massage it into the skin. This is also 100% fragrance free, which is fantastic for sensitive skin. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my moisturizer and apply that right on top. Okay, so now that the skin is nicely prepped, we're gonna go in with the foundation. So for my foundation today, like I said, I'm gonna be trying something that's not necessarily new to the market, but that's new to me. I've never tried this before. It's the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better Foundation Plus Skincare. And it actually says it improves bare skin in 2 weeks, which is interesting. Obviously, we're not gonna be able to know that today since it's my first time trying it, but this also says that it has water light medium coverage with a natural radiant finish. So honestly, this entire thing really sounds like it's very much up my alley. My expectations are also very high because I'm such a big fan of the It Cosmetics CC cream. It's like one of my all-time favorite foundations, as most of you probably know. I don't know, I feel like this could potentially be really awesome. And I'm also wondering what the difference is going to be between the two. The shade that I'm going to use today is Medium Cool 30. Fingers crossed this is going to match me. I'm also not going to apply any type of primer. The skincare is just going to act as our base today, which is all that I do on most days anyway. And I feel like when I do try a new foundation, using the foundation on its own with just my skincare is always the way to go. Otherwise, you risk the primer not mixing with the foundation well, and then you just don't know like what went wrong, if it was the actual foundation or if it was just the combo of your product. So my skin is just like perfectly prepped, so moisturized. My dry patches feel non-existent right now, so we're really in a good spot to try this foundation. So I'm gonna pump out. Let's try just like one pump and see what that gives us. I'm gonna use a totally clean brush, which is rare in my collection. This is the Chantecaille Buff and Blur brush. It's literally the only clean brush that I have here. I'm gonna pick it up and just start to go in. This matches me really well, actually. Okay, that is definitely not enough foundation at all. I don't know if it just absorbed completely into the brush, but that barely just covered up that cheek. I really had to spread it out. So we're gonna have to pump out some more. Have you guys tried this foundation? And if you have, what are your thoughts? Because I really haven't heard too many people talk about this. It's definitely covering up all of my redness pretty easily. I actually find this looks very similar to the It Cosmetics CC cream. It looks very natural on the skin. It gave me really great coverage, very similar to the It Cosmetics CC cream coverage. Blended really nicely. It looks natural. It's looking really good. I'm liking it a lot. We're really gonna have to let that sit though and marinate a little bit before we actually have an opinion on it, but so far so good. So I do not have a new concealer to try out today, so I'm just gonna grab my tried and true Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer and just apply a little bit underneath the eyes, blend that out, and then we're gonna move on to the exciting part, the Makeup by Mario creams. Okay, time to move on to the creams. If you didn't know, Makeup by Mario just released a bunch of cream bronzers and cream blushes. So we're gonna start off first with the cream bronzer. I'm actually first gonna look it up and just see what the claims are, just because I'm curious. It is called the Sculpt Shaping Stick, which is quite the alliteration. What a wonderful name. And it says that it is a dual-ended cream shaping stick that is buildable and swipes on seamlessly for true to skin definition that dries down to a natural matte finish. It creates an effortless, softly sculpted look, and the shades complement complexions regardless of undertone and are never orange or muddy. So the shade that I'm going to be using today is light medium, which honestly looks like the most perfect bronzing contour shade for my skin tone. It's like perfectly neutral, and I have swatched this and it seems to be such a creamy and beautiful contour. Honestly, like I don't see this going in a bad direction at all. It just feels super creamy and easy to work with, like just from the swatch on the back of my hand. So I'm so excited to put this on my face. So I think I'm just gonna go in directly from the stick to my face on one side and then use a different technique on the other just to kind of play around. So I'm just gonna, whoa, that is way more pigmented than I actually expected. Whew. Okay, just gonna put that on one side. I'm gonna use this little brush from NARS. This is, there's no name here, but it's a little buffing brush. And I'm gonna buff this out just by kind of tapping it. Ooh, that's blending really easily. Okay, good, because I definitely over applied. Wow. And it's blending and kind of melting into the skin very, very effortlessly. Ooh, that's actually beautiful. This is exactly what I want to see when I'm blending out a cream bronzer or even a cream blush. I just want it to melt seamlessly in with the foundation, and that's exactly what just happened. You guys saw how much I over applied, and that bronzer said, no problem, I got you. We're gonna blend. Okay, let's try a different technique. I'm just gonna put a little bit more on the back of my hand, just take what was there. I'm gonna pick it up from the brush, or from the back of my hand, and apply it that way. This is always a safer way to apply any type of cream, and it will stop you from over applying, and that definitely gives you a little bit more of a natural look. This side looks way more intense, and this side already I can tell just looks way more natural. So even though it blended out really nicely when I did over apply, I do feel like applying it like this is probably the best way to go, just to get a little bit more of a natural effect. And I should also mention, there is a brush on the other end. It looks a little bit weird, to be honest with you. It's like a very dense buffing brush, and it has these like 5 little balls in the center of it, which I guess is supposed to help move the product around as you blend it out. I almost never use brushes that are on the other end of products. Sometimes I do. Most of the time they're terrible. This doesn't seem terrible, it just seems a little bit too dense for my liking. I do prefer a dense brush, but something that is slightly more on the looser side, just because I find it helps to blend a little bit more. But this isn't a terrible brush to have on the other side. I feel like it's definitely a usable one, and it feels like really nice quality, so that's good, at least. You're not getting like a super cheap, shitty brush on the other side of your bronzer stick. So I am torn right now because I have 2 different cream blushes that I'm dying to try, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but I am determined to use both of them in today's video. Of course, I have the Makeup by Mario blushes here, but I also have the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin blushes, which I'm so excited to try. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just layer the 2. I'm gonna put like the Makeup by Mario one a little bit higher on the cheekbone, and then put the Lisa Eldridge one on the apple of the cheek, and that way I'll still be able to differentiate the 2, but I'll be able to try them both. See what I mean? Smart. Start off first with the Makeup by Mario stick. I have 2 colors here which really caught my eye. They are so beautiful and so up my alley again. They're both these like sunburnt, peachy, pinkish, corally shades. They're so beautiful, and they have the same type of really creamy texture. So this one over here is the shade Soft Coral. I think this one is like my favorite. It doesn't have a shimmer, but it does have a little bit of a sheen in there. It's not completely matte. And then we have Pale Pearl, which is the pinkier one, which also definitely has a little bit of metallic sheen. This is much more of like a cool tone pink. It actually translates to be way more cool toned on the hand than it looks in the little stick. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with this guy, the Soft Coral. So I'm learning from my mistakes. I'm gonna take a brush. This is a Sigma Contour Blush F53 Air. I'm gonna pick up directly from the stick and apply that way to get a really seamless look. Oh yeah, that color's beautiful. It's not crazy pigmented, at least applied this way. Maybe if I go like this, it'll give me a little bit more pigment. Yeah, you definitely get a little bit more pop when you apply it directly to your skin, but it's not like a super crazy intensely pigmented cream blush either. This seems to be buildable though. So I'm able to get color once I build it up, which I do like. I like the versatility of a buildable blush. It just makes things so much easier to apply. And again, similar to the bronzer, it's just melting into the skin so easily. I really love everything about that. Now let's go in with the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Blush. Oh, I'm so excited. So this color over here looks like it's gonna be a good match for the one that I'm wearing. It's called Dante's Dream. So I'm gonna just squeeze out a little bit on the back of my hand. I wanna just play with the texture for a second. Whoa, okay. That is so much more pigmented than I expected. For some reason, I thought this was gonna be incredibly sheer, but that was such a small amount of product, and look at how intense that payoff is. Holy shit. And this color is also so beautiful, very unique. I've never really seen a cream blush with this type of color. It's very pretty. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit from the back of my hand and start to apply with my finger. The reason why I'm applying with my finger is because when I touched it, it really felt like a very easy to work with product. I can kind of tell right away. It has kind of this serum-like feel to it that I just knew instinctually would blend really easily into the skin without the need of a brush. It's definitely very pigmented. I feel like I'm using way too much. I applied it way too far in. I'm gonna have to correct that, but it is definitely very pretty. It is reminding me very slightly of the M Cosmetics serum blushes. It's not quite as serum-y as the M Cosmetics serum blushes, but for some reason, I feel like it's giving me a similar effect. Okay, we're gonna fix it though, don't worry. It's not the product's fault, it's my fault. Just didn't know what to expect with this, and yeah, it really exceeded my expectations as far as the pigmentation goes, so this happens. This is a great learning opportunity. To fix that, you just take a little bit of concealer, dot it where you don't want the color, and then you go back in with your foundation brush and just blend over it. Or you don't even need to apply more product. You can just go in with your foundation brush if you feel that you have enough left over on it, and that should help diffuse it as well. But that just fixed it. For the other side, I'm just gonna go like that. See how easily that diffused into the skin even though I just put a stripe on my face? That's a really good test for a cream blush. If you're able to like completely melt into the skin and blend it perfectly with just a couple taps of a brush, it's a good sign. Okay, just take a little more of that Lisa Eldridge blush. Now that I know I don't need that much, I'm applying very sparingly. So a little bit of this really does go a very long way, but it's very pretty. I really like the texture of it a lot. I'm now gonna go in with the highlighter. This is a product that I have tried once before because I couldn't help myself. It's another Lisa Eldridge product. It's part of the Seamless Skin line, and it's called the Elevated Glow, and it's a highlighter. It comes with a little, or I should say a big doe foot applicator. It's actually massive. And you just kind of apply it like this. You could blend it with your fingers or with a brush. I'm just gonna use a brush just for speed's sake. And look at that incredible glow that it gives. But it blends into the skin, so it really doesn't look like it's sitting on top of it. And that's what I love in a highlighter, especially a liquid highlighter, because it just gives you that very natural effect, but still with that intensity that you're looking for. I mean, look at that. That just like brought my cheekbones to life. I do find it is somewhat similar to something like Auric Glow Lust. You do obviously get a lot more product in the Auric Glow Lust. I love this a lot. Okay, I have another blush here. And I really, really want to put it on my face, even though I already have 2 blushes on. Is one more really going to take it over the edge? The answer is yes, but I'm gonna do it anyway because these just sound so interesting to me. They are the Bare Minerals Blonzers. What is a blonzer, you may ask? It is a blush and bronzer duo. So essentially what that means is that this is going to give you a sun-kissed, bronzy, blushy look, which is everything I've ever wanted and more. Anytime I ever put on a blush, that is the effect that I'm trying to get. So the fact that a company actually came out with a blonzer, yes, please. So we actually have 3 shades here in the Blonzer collection. I love that name so much. We have Kiss of Rose, which looks like this. It looks like a pure rose quartz color. We've got Kiss of Pink, which is a pink color. And then we have Kiss of Copper. So all 3 of them have a really, really pretty sheen to them. They kind of look slightly metallic. I'm curious to see how they're going to translate on the skin, but they're really quite beautiful. I think I'm going to go with this guy, Kiss of Rose, because it really complements the shades that I already have going on here. That's what it looks like swatched on the skin. It's actually very metallic, but you are kind of able to diffuse it out, at least I am in this swatch. But I love the warmth that it gives. Let's see. So I'm going to use a very fluffy brush because I don't want to apply too much intensity to my cheeks. And so when you use a very fluffy brush, it's going to just diffuse the product more than it would if you used something a little bit more dense. So I'm just going to very lightly drape it over the majority of my cheek. Ooh, that's pretty. I already have a glow and I already have color, so it's not going to make a huge difference, but it definitely added a little bit of that extra glow, and I really like the color as well. I have 3 blushes on right now, so there's a lot going on, but I think that this is definitely very, very pretty. There's a lot of glow too. Look at that. So let's give the face a little bit of a break. Let's move on to the eyes. I have this palette here from Beauty Bay, which really caught my eye. It's called the Utopia Pressed Pigment Palette. And look at these colors. So fun. I love all these neons. This green is going on my eyes today. I cannot wait to put this on. Very interested to see how these are going to perform. Neon colors are not easy to formulate in eyeshadows. They can be really chalky and not very pigmented if they're not done right. So I'm very excited to see if this is going to work, because if so, this is a beautiful palette to have if you're into neon. So let's just swatch this first with the fingers and see. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Okay, it looks a little bit powdery, but it looks like there's definitely some potential there. So I am gonna first prime my lids with a little bit of concealer, just so they have something sticky to stick to. Okay, I'm gonna do a 1-color smoky eye type situation. So I'm gonna go in with the green, pick it up on a dense shader brush. This is the KJH and Spectrum number 7. And let's press it on the lid. Oh yeah, oh my God, it's working. Oh, yes. Oh my God, look at that. That is actually very intense. That's not what I expected, you guys. Like I said, neons are not easy to formulate. Most neons that I try, you need to build up for like years to be able to actually get this type of payoff. So this is actually very impressive. Ooh. Oh my God, I love this color. This is such a fun color, especially for the summer. I love that. So I need to blend this out. So I'm just gonna take this fluffy blending brush and I'm gonna grab Eden, which is the yellowy chartreuse color. Gonna really tap off the excess there and just use that to diffuse around the green, just so it has something to blend into. I'm gonna keep it matte and simple. I literally am just gonna leave it at this. I'm not gonna add anything else to it. I think when you have a bright color like this, to keep it more on the wearable side, it's always good to keep it simple. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna go ahead, apply some mascara, and I'll be back to play with some more makeup. Obviously, I got mascara on my eyelids, so let's just ignore that for now. I will scrape it off at some point, or I may forget. We'll see. So I actually have these 2 new brow products from Makeup Forever. I have the Aqua Resist Brow Filler. So this is a waterproof brow pencil. And then I have the Aqua Resist Brow Fixer, which is a brow gel, but it looks like it's very similar to my beloved M Cosmetics brow cream, because it's a very, very, very small little brow brush, and it looks like it has some pigment to it. So I'm really interested in trying this out on its own, and let's see if it's going to fill in my brows completely. And I also really like how there's a little bit of a bend to it. I feel like that is going to make it a little bit easier to apply even. Oh, that was a roller coaster. At first I was like, oh, that's doing nothing. And I was like, this is not even close to being the same as the Cosmetics brow cream. Then I'm like, wait a second, this is actually doing a lot. This is totally filling in my brows. And it's doing so in a very easy way. Like, do you guys just see what just happened? And I feel like that is actually a lot, dare I say, easier to use even than the Cosmetics brow cream. Not that the Cosmetics brow cream is hard to use, but that went on in a very interesting way. It almost felt dry. So it kind of felt like I was putting on like a powder. Whoa. The one thing I will say that this doesn't do, that the Cosmetics brow cream does, is it doesn't really feel like it set my actual brow hairs very heavily. Like, it feels like there's gel there, but I don't know how strong that gel actually is. But as far as filling in the brows, that's incredible. This is an incredible product. This is going to be going directly into the vanity drawer. All right, so the very last thing that we got to put on is, of course, the lip product. And I have another Lisa Eldridge product here that I really want to try out. This is a gloss, and it's in the shade Affair. And it looks like a beautiful neutral color that will very much complement the cheeks specifically and will not clash with the eyes. No scent. Ooh, this color is beautiful. For some reason, the word that came to mind while I was applying this was mature lip gloss. And I don't know if it's because it's a Lisa Eldridge product, and to me, Lisa Eldridge products are just so classy, but I feel like this is a very wearable lip gloss in the sense that it's definitely glossy. It makes your lips look really beautiful, but it's not over the top. This formula is really beautiful. I love the way it applied. It feels very, very thin when you apply it, so it doesn't feel gloppy or gloopy. Honestly, any product that I put on my face that Lisa Eldridge makes, I just feel classy. And this lip gloss makes me feel classy. Honestly, everything that I put on my face today gave me very good results. It was a very positive first impressions. There wasn't one thing where I was like, not 100% sure about that. Even the foundation is looking so gorgeous, you guys. I've actually been wearing this for an hour at this point, and I'm also in a very hot studio, so I'm sweating and I have lights in front of me, and it's holding up really, really nicely, even though I am definitely sweating on my face right now because I can feel it. And speaking of how it's going to wear throughout the rest of the day, I will be giving you guys a check-in so you can see if the eyeshadow stays vibrant, if the foundation stays good, and if my brows stay on my face. It's honestly hard for me to even choose a winner for all the products that I tried today because I feel like everything that I put on my face really was very good. I think what I'm most excited about is this brow product. You thought I was going to say the cream blushes and bronzers, which yes, I am excited about those, but this brow product was very good. And the reason why I'm giving it its little crown is because it was unexpected. Didn't think this would come out as the queen, but here we are. I think the only fail that happened today was when I over applied my own blush, but that was just my fault. It's raining outside right now, and I just had to walk to my car in the rain, and this makeup's definitely getting some good testing because I've been sweating. There's water going on my face from the rain, and it's been about 6 hours since I applied everything, and I definitely have an update for you. My skin is looking incredibly dewy, like so glowy, almost too glowy. And I also feel like it's gotten to feel a little bit heavier on my skin because it is so glowy. It feels like every time I rub my face, I kind of rub a little bit of it off. So that does make me a little bit sad. I wish I wasn't as glowy as I am right now. Like, I feel like the camera's not even picking up the level of glow that is on my face because it's pretty intense. I feel like I need to make this work though, because the finish is still just so pretty and I still like the way it's sitting on my skin. So I am not giving up on this foundation just because it's too glowy right now. I'm determined. Everything else is lasting really well. Look how intense my cheeks look. They're almost too intense. because I obviously over applied, but I mean, that just shows how nicely everything is staying on my face. Even with more of like a glowy, somewhat slippery base, it's really sticking on. The eyeshadow is actually creasing. It's still very intense, but it's totally creasing. I think that mainly has to do with the concealer that I use and not the eyeshadow. Yeah, that's after 6 hours. Foundation is just a little bit too glowy, but besides that, everything is looking good. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the makeup that I tested today. Let me know in the comments if you have tried any of the products that I spoke about today. If you have, what are your reviews? Or if you didn't, what product speaks to you the most? Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.